Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Sorcery. Here we are outside the artist's quarter. 2 paths to take. In the last session, which was a little while ago, just over a week ago, got into a bit of a rhythm with Pillars of Eternity. We found out some useful information. To get through the North Gate, we have to get through a spell. To get through the spell, we need to learn 4 lines of said spell. Now, apparently a priest in Lower Kare may be able to help us to find the spell lines. We also learned something about Lord Lorag, who may or may not know one of the spell lines, and he lives in the Red Quarter, close to the Fireview Square, in a large house. They are our 2 leads as of now. So I'm thinking we make our way over to the other side of town, meander our way that way. We look for this noble in a large house, Red Quarter, close to Fireview Square. Could be this area here, I'm thinking. That's quite a large house, set in its own grounds. Seems to fit the bill. So we might head over to this. And also, south or Lower Kare, a priest may be able to help us. This is Lower Kare. This looks to be a church. So that could also be a potential place to go. So we either go down, I'm thinking we either go down here and try to get across. I don't know if we're going to get across the river, I do not know. Maybe we have to get to the bridge. Could be a plausible explanation, plausible plan. Because there's no other obvious ways across. In fact, that's probably the way that we do have to go. So yeah, order of business, to the docks and to this drawbridge, which doesn't appear to be down at the moment. So we've got 2 ways we can meander our way to the docks. We can either head to the slums, or we can head down Mansion Row. Let me think long and hard about this. I think we'll go down Mansion Row, thank you very much. You make your way along the cliff-top road between grand houses that must belong to well-to-do types. You pass a tall, thin man in a long robe, some kind of monk. He bows to you as you pass. Well, we're in the upper part of town here. We might as well, of course, mingle and talk to the locals, show some respect. Greetings, you begin. The monk beams at you and holds out his palms. What do you want? You ask. The monk simply smiles, his hands still reaching out towards you. The last time we touched somebody, we ended up with some bloody plague. Perhaps Heinrich, remembering that, and is a little bit apprehensive in grabbing this man's hands. But there's nothing suspicious about a monk in a nice area of town, is there? Surely not. Oh, you reach out and take hold of his hands. With burning bright eyes, he stares at you. You must find the crown, he murmurs, for the sake of all Kakabad. Then quite suddenly, he releases you and straightens up, folding his hands away into his robe. You can't help noticing, but you feel strangely refreshed. Who are you? You ask, but the monk only shakes his head, then gestures to his mouth. Now that you look closely, you see his tongue has been cut off and he cannot speak. He bows his head and walks away. How very bizarre. How very bizarre indeed. But he's replenished our health. Carrying along the cliff. You continue up the main road, which climbs gently towards the centre of Kari. The road passes through the ruin of a grand building. What must have once been a glorious morning room. An ornamental pond is all that remains. Moss grows from the cracks in its tiled sides. What is it with Heinrich and run-down grand buildings? You just can't seem to resist having a nosy. You walk over to the pond. Despite its great age, it seems well tended, and the water is surprisingly clear. A small scarlet fish darts out from behind a stone as you watch. Bubbles rise from its mouth, and as they break, you hear the breath of words. Something else glints from the bottom of the pool. Ooh. Highly fishy, no puns intended. Highly fishy, if you ask me. Well, we're not tasting the water, that's for sure. But we ain't moving on either. What spells can we cast? Can we cast sus? Check out any suspicious activity? What do we got here? Y-A-P. Oh, of course, we could have possibly talked with the fish. But we don't have a green-haired wig. Ah, that's probably the most useful spell in this situation, if I was to have a guess. Mud. Cast quicksand, that's no use. Madge is protect from magic. Don't think that'll be any use. And probably Dud, which is illusion of treasure. Could be good if it's like a wishing well. Throw some fake coins in. And Dop, opening locks and doors. Don't think that's going to help us somehow. How? Find safe passage? Nah, I don't think that's also going to help us. Nah, I'm thinking the talking to the fish option was probably the best option here. We don't have a green wig though. Bugger. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take an initial look, looking deeper into the pond. Your eyes trace the second gleam. Not a fish this time, but a gold piece. Someone must have thrown it into the water for luck. We're not taking the gold piece. Not that desperate for gold to take people's wishing money, surely. Lean closer to hear the words. Leaning beside the pool, you put your ear close to the water. The little scarlet fish swims up and spits a drop of water at your cheek. If fish could laugh, you would swear this fish was chuckling. Again, its mouth bubbles with a sound like broth. But what does it mean? Not a clue, because without a green wig, we're useless. We'll move on. The main road continues onwards along the edge of the ridge, and you hear the sound of a crowd in the distance. A narrower lane heads uphill to your left. Okay, so we could turn uphill, which takes us towards the dock, which is where we want to go. Or we could continue along the cliff road and perhaps turn up this way instead. Choices, choices, choices. Is this where the sound of the commotion is? Leads to this kind of central square area. Could be a good way to go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, bloody, I don't know. I'm going to do a random number. I'm going to do a random number generator for this one. I have no clue. We're in the luck of the RNG gods here. When in doubt, generate a random number. Right. So it's between 1 and 2. 1, we go uphill. 2, we go down the cliff road. Well, this is working well. It's not working. Okay. Okay, just hold the phone, folks. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Just keep your opinions to yourselves here. Okay, all right. Finally got one to work. Down the cliff road it is. You follow the road down a gentle slope. On the right, a cliff edge drops away with a view of the fields of Lower Kare. Open fires burn here, and there is the scrubland. And you hear a distant howl. After a while you reach a fork. The road ahead is lined with coloured flags. In the elbow of the fork is a grand well-kept building. Steam pumps from its roof. A creature emerges, looking refreshed and flushed. It is a bathhouse. We have no coin. We could follow the flags. Kinda heading away from where we want to go. It's leading us towards the Festival of the Thieves, which doesn't sound promising. Festival of Thieves? I think we may give that a miss. We have no coin, but there's no harm in looking, is there? And our good old friend Henry, well, he wouldn't pass up an opportunity to head into a bathhouse, would he? No. Of course not. You step in a... Uh-oh. I'm hearing a faint heartbeat sound. This is not good. You step in the cool of the bathhouse. It is a wide building of marble tiles and a sweet smell of pine and fresh wood. Gentle noises echo and murmur around the walls. The creature by the front desk greets you with a smile. "Good afternoon, sir," it purrs. "The water is cool and fresh today. A swim costs 4 gold pieces." "Is it worth it?" you ask. "Oh, very," the creature replies with a beaming smile. "The waters of Kare are known for their healing and refreshing qualities. We have a steam room and a lagoon pool. You'll be well catered for." Bugger. We could have had ourselves a royal old refreshing time, but unfortunately, we're a little bit strapped for coin. So we'll have to leave. 4 gold pieces is more than you have. You shake your head to the creature behind the desk. "I don't think it's for me," not wanting to admit he's poor. The creature returns to picking the dirt from its fingernails. You step outside onto the street, rather disappointed. Why are we still having the sound of a heartbeat? What the hell is going on here? Okay, so we have a choice once again. We could follow the flags, which seem to be leading towards some festival. Could well be leading towards the Festival of the Thieves. Festival sounds like a lot of fun. Festival of Thieves? Maybe less so. And it's going away from where we need to go in terms of getting across the river. So I think we're going to go uphill. And we have no coin to spend in said festival anyway. The road twists and turns up the rise until you emerge onto a wider road on the edge of a dense slum. From inside, down a street to the left, you can hear the very faint sound of singing. A smell of rotting fish begins to fill the air. You must be close to the docks. So we can go left towards the singing, or right towards the docks. We could probably go straight to the docks, but we can't help but be drawn in by the sound of melodious singing. Yes. Winding between tall, crazily built slum dwellings, the road you are on now leads through the dense lower city. The street is narrow, and you keep your head held high in case someone should try their luck with the blade. If they're trying to rob us, they're not going to get a right lot, are they? After a few minutes of edging forwards, you emerge into a wider space, a flagstone plaza. At the centre is a circular well mouth. Alleyways lead off in 4 directions. You pause to look around the edge of the square. The alleyways all look the same, except that to the left, the lane heads downwards, turning away from the centre of Carway. You look at the well. It seems dusty and dry. Perhaps taking a time here just to look down the well. This well seems to have handholds cut into its stones. They appear good enough to climb down. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. Heinrich, no. He accepts both danger and misfortune without hesitation. Unless, of course, it involves marketplaces, at which point very hesitant, but no. Well, with handholds down? It's got to have a nosy, he says, thinks Heinrich. It's just got to know what's down there. The first sign of trouble, he thinks to himself, we'll make a run for it. And our spirit is available to get us out of a sticky situation. There is still daylight left, and the lure of the unknown is overpowering. You swing yourself over the edge of the well, teetering for an unnerving moment above the long, long drop. And you find the first of the holes with your feet and begin to make your way down into the dark. Oh, I think we've passed the point of no return now. Oh! The climb is slow and cautious. You cannot see the holes below you, so you have to feel your way down. After about 10 minutes, your arms are tiring. Suddenly, you realise the position you are in. If your strength gives out, you will fall. But you may not have the energy to climb back up either. It is impossible to see how much further there is to go. We just keep going. In these situations, just keep going forwards, or downwards, or wherever we're going. Steeling your courage, you continue to climb down. Keep going, Heinrich, come on. After perhaps a minute more, your foot finds a ledge. Below that is nothing but space. You have reached the roof of whatever chamber is below. A metal bar sticks from the wall here, presumably used to tie a rope to continue the rest of the way down. Perhaps we can cast a spell to float down. Now, what was that spell? Was it F? Oh, create a force field. There is a spell for slow falling. Fog summons darkness. No. Don't think we need to summon darkness here. It's pretty dark as it is. We can check for danger, which could be a good idea given the current circumstances. G, no G's. So we've got F, we've got G, we've got F. Yeah. So we can create some darkness. Or we can sense for danger. What we'll do, we'll sense for danger. Wow. You cast a spell and a clear voice enters your mind to tell you that the drop below is too far and will certainly hurt you, if not kill you outright. The spell's work done, the voice vanishes, leaving you no better off than before, and we have no other option but to drop down. Great. So it tells us about the danger, and then we're powerless to do anything about it anyway. It's almost like just telling you you're going to die before it actually happens. Taking a deep breath, you let yourself drop from the ledge. You fall and then fall more, your heart leaping into your throat as you realise you are falling too far. Then, with a shallow splash, you hit the water and the tunnel floor below. Boom. You're standing ankle deep in thick water in one of the city sewers. The smell is indescribable. You're at a dead end of sorts. The water disappears into a grating in one direction while the tunnel disappears into darkness in the other. You step out from the dim light of the well shaft and into the black tunnel beyond. Oh boy. The tunnel is filled with the worst stench you can imagine. Things splash and scurry through the darkness. You pass a heap of black cloth. A huddled creature? You creep over to the huddled rags, the shape of a man leant over, clutching his knees, but it does not seem to be moving. Touch it. It collapses at the slightest touch, and you breathe a sigh of relief. Just a piled up cloak, discarded by some previous unfortunate who travelled this way. You sift through the heavy cloth. This was a fine cloak, once, before it was left to rot down here. Stitched on the back is a number 1 in a circle. Waterlogged, the cloak is too heavy to carry away, but it proves that others have come this way before. Okay. The sewer turns a corner here, with other tunnels blocked by filth-strewn wreckage, of which we will rifle through, looking for anything that may assist us. Ugh, the stench is vomit-inducing. However, Heinrich comes across a small glass bottle of uncorking it. Blimberry. Oh, lovely. He puts it into his pack. I think, wasn't Blimberry some sort of restorative potion? I mean, we're not dangerously low on stamina just yet, but you know, keeping that in mind. We walk onwards through the dark sewer, then suddenly the tunnel opens into a low chamber. Uh-oh. You stand ankle deep in filth in a square chamber. Icy droplets fall from the ceiling. The smell is terrible. But this is not just any sewer. In the corner of the room, a pile of rags. Someone or something lives down here. Oh. Well, we haven't come down here to rush through. We've come down here to have a nosy, and therefore we shall have a nosy. First of all, looking around the room. You look around the walls of the chamber. Aside from the pile of rags, there is nothing else here. No stash of food or weapons and no sign of the inhabitant. Then you notice on the far wall some scratches in the stone. A mark of time, perhaps? A sudden rush of water floods the chamber, soaking you up to the waist. A moment later, it has washed away once more. But there might be more coming. You make your way carefully around the cesspool in the middle of the room to the far side, where the marks are faintly visible in the gloom. They are not just notches, but letters, and perhaps once they were full words but have been worn away by the flowing water, or else filled in with slime and dirt. It looks as though it might have once been a poem. You peer at the markings. You can make out the following through the muck. Kurg's grace, one lock, deep inside, I bid you, Suddenly, something growls in the darkness of the tunnel behind you. You look up to see a dark, stooped shape approaching fast. It's a rat bear. We could probably take it. Maybe we could cast a spell, but stamina is low. But if in doubt and we get surprised, it's always good to start with some magic. Right, we can do Law, which controls the creature. It does cost 3 stamina, so we'll see if there's anything a little bit cheaper, maybe. We've got Gak, causes fear. We've got God, illusion of worship. Okay, how about a bit of Yap? No, it's talking with animals. Yippity yap, don't go back. Kid, create illusions. These are new spells. It's gonna have to be control again, isn't it? We're gonna have to control this rat bear and do ask it to do whatever we need it to do, which is bog off. You cast a spell and take command of the rat bear's will. We could actually command it to drown itself, which is a little bit harsh, so we'll just send it away out of our presence. You order the creature to retreat, and it slowly slinks away down the tunnel, roaring in anger, but powerless to resist your command. Still, the spare will wear off eventually. You better leave this place before it returns, and we have found one more clue. A scratched poem. Kurga's Grace, one lock. Deep inside, I bid you. Interesting. Right, a quick search of the rags and then we're off. You dig into the rags and clothing. They must have formed someone's bedding, as it could never have been clothing. Strips and odd squares of cloth of all different kinds. They have probably been scavenged from what people threw down the drains into the sewers. Digging into some old pockets, you find a few gold pieces. Suddenly, you find yourself itching and scratching. The rags are covered in fleas, and now they are biting you as well. There is nothing more to be done here. If you ever wish to see daylight again, you must move on. Well, we've got some gold out of it. Right, let's get out of here. You walk onwards through the sewer. Shadowy shapes loom out of the darkness, then disappear as you move close. You walk for what seems like an hour, maybe more. The tunnel tilts lower and lower. Perhaps you are going underneath the river. The sound of fast rushing water fills the tunnel. So if it's going to ask us to cast a danger sensing spell again, I'm not going to bother. I'll take my chance. Yeah, it is. Look, I'll just take my bloody chance and walk into a death trap at this point. Because it'll tell us that there's trouble ahead and we're powerless to do anything about it anyway. Let's just go. You keep walking. The sound of rushing water is growing louder. Oh dear. But it is literally a one-way path. So we have really no choice but to go this way anyway. So there must be a way out of it. The game wouldn't force you down a path where you're gonna die regardless. Or will it? Suddenly you realise the sound is not coming from close by the tunnel or through the walls. The sound is coming towards you. Somewhere a wall of water is approaching. An old dam must have given way and river water is now flooding the tunnel. Shelter in an alcove. Will it not surely flood into the alcove? You could pray for aid. Well, try sheltering in an alcove. You dive into an alcove in the side of the tunnel as the great wave pounds into it, but it fills the sewer completely, and you are quickly pulled from your hiding place as though by 1,000 hands and submerged. The water wrenches you from the floor and throws you into a swirling spiral. You can see nothing but the murk and the filth. At least, you think wryly, you are getting a wash. What, whilst drowning to death? Swim for it! The impact is so sudden that you have no time to prepare. You have only a few moments of air left. Your lungs are bursting for air. Swim for a ceiling duct. The current is whipping you this way and that like a fetal bug in a thunderstorm. It is all you can do to work out which way is up or which way is down. You fight and struggle to get your body under control, losing valuable seconds of air. Swim down to escape the flow. You turn and fin down towards the bottom of the sewer, hoping to escape the worst of the current. Near the ground, the water is slower and you are thrown about less violently, but you are still running out of air. Swim with the current. Uh-oh. You push up to swim with the current, which tears you along the length of the sewer. The ground level is rising below. At some point, perhaps, you will break the surface of the water, but it has not happened yet. The air in your lungs gives out, and there is nothing you can do. Your mouth opens, and the filthy water of the Jabberjay River floods into your lungs, and you have drowned. Oh, we have drowned. Ah! Damn and blast! Alright. Death number 2 then. We got to rewind to wherever, to there. Yeah. So keep walking and up to here. There's obviously a way to beat this this rushing water. We could pray for aid, but I'm determined to take a deep breath, which may give us extra lung capacity, may not, we'll see. You take a deep breath, exhale and take a deeper breath, exhale, and then fill your lungs as best you can as the great wave strikes. The water wrenches you from the floor and throws you into a swirling spiral, and you're getting awash again. For the moment at least, you are calm and can focus, even in the roaring current, as we have prepared ourselves with a deep cleansing breath. We're going to try to swim with the current this time. The current is whipping you this way and that. Okay. Okay. Keep swimming with the current. Okay. Oh! Holy flipping mackerel! Lungs burst and you reach a duct in the ceiling. Once inside, it wrenches you upwards with powerful force. The stonework either side is a blur, and you crash, scrape, and bang into the sides painfully. And suddenly, you are spat up into wider, colder water, lit from above by silvery light. You are outside. Oh! Spat out like yesterday's trap. Oh! In the river! You come up gasping for air about a quarter of the way across the river that flows through the middle of Kari. Night has fallen while you were underground, and all around you is pitch darkness. You struggle and flail for a moment to get your head above water, then turn about to swim for the far bank. Of course, all your water-damageable possessions have been ruined. Thankfully, however, the pages of your spellbook are protected, and your fleas are washed away. You swim along the surface of the river, keeping your mouth clear on the filth, maybe, as best you can, and aiming for distant lights of the far bank. There is a figure moving there. A night watchman of some kind? Keep swimming. You keep on swimming, carving your way quickly across, keen to be out of the Jabberjay as soon as possible. Suddenly a voice rings out across the river. "There's someone in the water!" a man's voice calls. "One of the slaves is escaping!" One by one more lanterns appear, lighting up like stars, and they emerge around the sides of the buildings and down the narrow alleys to the waterfront. Diving under? Is she going to help us? They've seen us now. Keep swimming. Oh! Suddenly something hisses through the air past your head. An arrow! The next moment the arrow disappears back into the darkness, pulled on a rope. The men on the bank are fishing for you. Dive under. You dive quickly under the water. For a moment you are alone, isolated in the brown water. Another arrow shoots past your head. Should we turn back? Yes. Even if you reach the far bank, there is no way you will survive against a large number of men. You turn about in the water and begin to swim quickly back. The stench from the river and the burning in your arms and legs make your head swim. Something stings you in the leg. An arrow. You feel a strange backwards tug. Oh, we've been got. We've been got. We've been captured. Oh. It's gonna keep swimming. It's gonna rip our bloody leg off. Oh, okay, accept defeat. We're tired, we're in water, we've had such an ordeal, we've almost drowned, we've had a horrible premonition that we did drown before waking up on the surface of the river, and now this. Perhaps Heinrich's silver tongue will get him out of trouble. You cannot fight it. Turning about in the water, you watch as the rope tightens and lifts up from the surface of the river. You are hauled quickly in. At least you will reach the other bank. 2 men haul you out, panting and shivering like a dog. Men loom over you. He still looks in one piece, one remarks. Another agrees. Good enough for the galleys, certainly. Something moves. Then everything goes black. Your eyes open. Captured. Again. Last time it was Elvins, and this time, well, where are you? Good question. You're going to have to find out next time. Oh, we're captured. We're on a ship somewhere in the docks, and we need to fast talk our way out of here. Because we've got things to do. We're low on stamina. It looks like we've lost some of the gold that we had, and we've got no rations. So all in all, Heinrich's adventures not going too swimmingly. Pun intended this time. So join me next time to see if we can actually escape this with his life intact. Until then, see you soon.